Have you ever looked at your bank account and just wondered, where did it all go? It feels like money just has a mind of its own, and it disappears before you even get a chance to say goodbye. Well, you are definitely not alone. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain on this whole world of finance. We're going to make sense of it all and show you how to take back control. Let's do this. You remember that feeling? Getting your first real paycheck, you are on top of the world. And then you look at the actual number, the amount that hits your bank account, and you're just like, wait, what? Where did the rest of it go? That's the big question, right? We're going to uncover these invisible forces that take a bite out of your earnings, and maybe even figure out how to fight back a little.
All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to tackle this in 5 parts. First up, we'll get a little philosophical and ask, what even is money? Then we'll expose the invisible price tags of inflation and interest. After that, we'll decode your financial reputation, learn how to ride the waves of the economy, and finally, the best part, figure out how to get your money to start working for you.
So let's start at the beginning. What is money, really? I mean, we use it every single day, but have you ever just stopped and thought about what it actually is? In this first section, we're going to break it all down, from the cash in your pocket to the digits you see on a screen.
Okay, think about this for a second. That dollar bill in your wallet? It's just a piece of paper with some fancy ink on it. Bitcoin? Just code. The only reason any of it has value is because we all agree that it does. It's kind of like this giant unspoken agreement we're all a part of, and as long as we all keep believing, the whole system works. It's wild, right?
And here's the first place we see that system at work, the paycheck. And yeah, it's a tough pill to swallow. You work hard for that $2,000, and then, boof, a big chunk is gone before you can even touch it. But here's the deal. Those taxes are basically the subscription fee for living in a society. They pay for roads, schools, and the safety nets that are there for us. It's a trade-off, for sure, but it's one we all make.
Okay, so you take what's left, your hard-earned cash, and you put it in the bank. You think it's just sitting there, safe and sound, in some giant vault like in the movies. But here's a little secret. That's not what's happening at all. The bank is putting your money to work. It's part of a system called
fractional reserve banking. Sounds complicated, but it's not. You deposit $1,000. The bank keeps a small piece of it, say $100, just in case you need it, and then it lends out the other $900. And here's the craziest part. That process of lending actually creates new money in the economy. It's the engine that fuels everything from a new local coffee shop to massive city projects. It's what makes the whole thing go round.
All right, so your money is out there, moving around, but it's not just sitting still. There are 2 huge invisible forces constantly pushing and pulling on its value. They're called inflation and interest. Let's zoom in and see exactly how they work.
You know how a bag of chips seems to be half empty these days, but it costs more than ever? Yep, that's inflation. It's this slow, sneaky erosion of what your money can actually buy. That $5 bill in your pocket's always going to be $5, but what you can get for it, that shrinks over time. It's a silent thief, and you have to know it's there.
Now, interest. This one is a double-edged sword. When you're paying it, like on a credit card, it is your absolute worst enemy. It's a slow burn that can turn a small debt into a raging financial fire. But when you're earning it, it becomes your best, most loyal employee, one that works 24/7, never takes a vacation, and is totally dedicated to making you wealthy.
Okay, let's talk about what might just be the most powerful force in the financial universe. It's called compound interest, and it's basically the cheat code for building real wealth. And it all starts with something small, like just a single $100 bill.
At first, the growth is pretty slow. You might not even notice it. But then, something magical starts to happen. The interest you earn starts earning its own interest, and your money begins to snowball. All of a sudden, your $100 has become $200.
And that snowball just keeps getting bigger and rolling faster. Your 200 turns into 400, and it just keeps accelerating. This is the power of compounding. It's not about getting rich overnight. It's about letting time do the heavy lifting for you. The only catch? You have to start.
Now, let's say you want to borrow money, maybe for a car or a house or to start a business. There's one single number that lenders care about more than almost anything else, and that's your credit score.
This 3-digit number, somewhere between 300 and 850, is not a measure of how much money you have. It has nothing to do with being rich. It's a measure of trust. It's the lender's way of asking, hey, if we loan this person money, what are the chances we actually get it back? A high score basically screams, I'm a responsible adult.
So what's the secret recipe here? Well, it's not really a secret. It all comes down to a few key things. Paying your bills on time, that's payment history, and it's the biggest one. Then there's how much of your available credit you're using.
The algorithm also looks at how long you've had credit, the different types of credit you have, and how often you're applying for new stuff. Get a handle on these 5 things, and you're on your way to a great score.
I absolutely love this quote because it's just so hilariously true. Your credit score really is like your financial report card. If you take good care of it, it opens up all kinds of doors and can save you thousands of dollars. But if you ignore it, well, things can get messy and fast.
Okay, let's zoom out from our personal finances for a minute and look at the bigger picture. The economy is kind of like a giant roller coaster. It has these incredible highs and some pretty stomach-churning drops. And guess what? We are all strapped in for the ride, whether we like it or not. The best way to think about it is like a party. During the good times, the boom, the drinks are flowing, everyone's having a great time. Jobs are easy to find. But then the lights flicker. That's the peak. And then comes the bust. The party's over, and the DJ is playing sad lo-fi beats. That's a recession. But here's the good news. Parties end, but they're followed by a slow reset, usually fueled by a lot of hope and some very overpriced coffee.
So, with all this going on, taxes, inflation, economic roller coasters, how do you actually get ahead? How do you come out on top? The answer is surprisingly simple. You have to make your money work for you. In this last section, we're going to talk about exactly how to do that.
Look, if we know inflation is silently stealing the value of our money, the best defense is a really good offense. And that offense is called investing. It's a fundamental shift. Instead of trading your time for money, which is what a job is, you start trading your money for more money.
So what does investing even mean? It just means buying things that you believe will be worth more in the future. You can buy stocks, which are just tiny little slices of ownership in a company, or you could buy bonds, where you're basically giving a loan to a company or a government. If you don't want to pick and choose, you can buy funds, which are like pre-made baskets of stocks and bonds. And of course, there's always real estate, good old-fashioned property.
This is probably the most important thing to remember. This isn't about trying to time the market or find the next hot stock. It's about time in the market. It's a long game. The sooner you start, the more time that magical compounding has to work for you. Honestly, the biggest risk is doing nothing at all.
So that really leaves us with one final, crucial question. Right now, every single dollar you have is already working. There's no escaping it. It's either losing its value to inflation, or it's being eaten away by interest on debt, or it's out there growing for you through investments. Your money is working. The only choice you have to make is it working for you or against you? Thanks for joining us.